This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for January 11, 2023. And in the news this afternoon, a man killed while visiting girlfriend in Negril. A man was gunned down by unknown assailants while visiting his girlfriend at her home in Little Haiti, Negril in Westmoreland on Tuesday night. The deceased has been identified as 43-year-old Gerald Browner of Red Ground, Negril in the parish. Reports from the police are that Browner was at his girlfriend's home when she went outside to speak to her mother, who occupies a room at the rear of the apartment. Shortly after, his girlfriend reportedly heard loud explosions sounding like gunshots coming from the room that Browner was in. When the shooting subsided, the report said she went inside to make checks and saw Browner lying on his back inside the room, suffering from what appeared to be multiple gunshot wounds to his head and upper body. The police were summoned and he was transported to the Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. Alleged chain grabber shot and injured in halfway tree. An alleged chain grabber was shot and injured in the vicinity of the Halfway Tree Transport Center in St. Andrew on Wednesday. Reports are that the alleged thief grabbed the chain of a man walking in the area. The man, who is said to be a licensed firearm holder, reportedly chased the alleged chain grabber and shot him. The suspected chain grabber was later accosted by the police, who were posted in the area. The area is now cordoned off. More details to come. No delays at the Sanctuary International Airport, says CEO. Shane Monroe, the Chief Executive Officer of MBJ Airports Limited, says operations at the Sanctuary International Airport in St. James have so far not been impacted by Wednesday morning's temporary halt to flights departing from the U.S. At this time, it is not having an impact as yet, Monroe told the news a short while ago. A computer glitch at the Federal Aviation Administration brought departing flights to a standstill across the U.S. until 9 a.m., resulting in hundreds of delays. Monroe said reports coming out of the U.S. are that the situation has been resolved and Jamaica is expected to remain on schedule for the arrival of its first flight out of the destination at 10:29 a.m. He said there is currently no backlog of passengers at MBJ Airport and departing passengers will be able to leave on time. At 8 a.m. Eastern, there were more than 2,500 delayed flights within, into or out of the United States, according to the flight tracking website FlightAware, exceeding the number of all delayed flights on the previous day. More than 150 were cancelled. Christian benefactor or sexual predator. For some of the wards of the transitional facility in St. James, named the Father's House, American educator Uncle Carl was a benefactor who would take them to places, including top resorts and attractions, pay their school fees and other bills. For other wards of the facility, operated by the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, Uncle Carl, the head of the U.S.-based charity Embracing Orphans, was a predator who made sexual suggestive comments to them and made them uncomfortable with the images and offers he sent to them. But based on a report from the Office of the Children's Advocate, tabled in Parliament on Tuesday, January 10, 2023, Rob Banks, whose education license was suspended in the United States in December 2016 after he was found culpable of professional misconduct and to have high probability of repeating sexual misconducts with a minor, was allowed to maintain contact with the wards of the state for 3 years after the CPFSA was made aware of the allegations against him. The OCA reports that Embracing Orphans describes the beginnings of its involvement in Jamaica in terms which hint more of romanticism, blind opportunity, and the chance as ordained by divinity rather than any definitive strategy, save for the explicit condition that attachment to an orphanage would be desirable. In the Our Story portion of its website, its start is described thus: in December of 2007, founder and executive director Carl Banks asked God where he could serve. Banks had served through missions in several other countries and awaited an answer from God via the cheapest international plane ticket in the Caribbean or Central America. Jamaica was the answer, and Banks disagreed with God, challenging God with the need for a cheap hotel, a place to serve such as an orphanage, and a confirmation that there was need at the location. God answered all of these challenges, and the following week, Banks was serving in Jamaica. God started the dream in Banks on that trip, and within 3 months, the work toward a proper nonprofit began, the OCA noted. Banks was paid a salary of US $46,600, and the charity reported its sole income of grants and contributions totaling US $254,399 in 2020, almost 7% more than the $238,044 it collected in 2019, based mainly on its advertisement about its work in Jamaica. But one resident of the father's house described Resident A recounted to the OCA a series of questionable interactions with a man they called Uncle Carl. According to Resident A, Uncle Carl would take them to places such as Dunn's River Falls, Cool Runnings, and the Verney House, which is a guest house, where they would use the pool and eat cakes and ice cream. She reported that on one occasion, the residents, along with the members of staff of the facility, went with Banks to Dunn's River. Resident A said on one occasion, while she was in the water, he had another resident of the father's house on his back, and he came towards her. He came close to me in the water and pulled me closer to him, and told me to feel his private. She says that she looked down and did in fact see his erect private, but she did not touch it. She says she had no difficulty seeing it, because though she does not remember the exact time of the day, it was after midday and it was a sunny day. She says she pushed him away with her foot and he again came closer to her, at which time he asked her if his private was bigger than her boyfriend's. Resident A told the OCA investigators. She also alleged that he touched her buttocks while they were in the water, and that he was very careful and skillful in the way he touched me, so no one would notice what was happening. She also reports that Banks told her to keep what happened a secret. She says that though she felt assaulted by him, she did not object or raise an alarm, because I felt like he had to have his way with me, because he was paying my school fees and the scholarship, and I had gone through so much in life, and I did not want to jeopardize my scholarship, Resident A told the OCA investigators. Resident A also told the OCA that Banks maintained contact with her via Facebook Messenger when he returned overseas, even after the Dunn's River incident. She alleges that in some of these conversations, he spoke about wanting to have a threesome with her and the same resident who was on his back in the water when they were at Dunn's River, and a third resident of the facility. He also explained in detail what he wanted to do with them. She said these messages via Messenger continued even after she had transitioned out of the father's house and was living elsewhere right up until early 2021. However, his messages stopped since the early part of 2021, when the news media reported about Carl Banks, said Resident A, whose account was supported by her boyfriend, who provided the OCA with screenshots of some of the messages. She has also indicated that though she did not actually delete any of the messages he sent to her, she noticed that in early 2021, after Nationwide News Network broke the story, the messages he sent to me also disappeared from my Facebook Messenger, as I did not see the messages when I went and checked. In the meantime, another ward of the state described by the OCA as Resident C reported that shortly after she had become a resident of the father's house and was 17 years old, she went on a trip to the beach with other residents of the home. She reported that while in the water with her and other residents, she noticed that Banks was masturbating in front of them. Resident C is also said to have reported to the interim manager of the facility that on another occasion, Uncle Carl took them on a trip to Dunn's River Falls. When they were getting ready to leave Dunn's River, herself and another of the girls were going to shower before leaving, and Uncle Carl offered to help by holding their bags and guarding the door while they were showering. Resident C alleged that while in the shower, she looked back and realized that Uncle Carl was peeping through a crack in the door at her naked body. She further asserts that when he realized that she had seen him, he indicated that she should turn around to face him. The OCA report also indicated that approximately 1 week after Resident C made her report to officials of the facility, Uncle Carl sent more than $70,000 to one of the residents' bank accounts to treat all the residents to a day at Mystic Mountain in St. Anne. Taken by itself, if this report is accurate, it is not overwhelmingly significant. Within the context of the previous discussed circumstances, however, and the attachment to her banks that some of these residents seem to have alongside their willingness to defend him, its significance becomes enhanced, said the OCA report. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.